Yo, what's happening guys? Welcome back to Tokimotive. Alright, so full-blown event prep going on. I have a lot to do. So this week to prepare, I kind of booked this ticket a couple of weeks out. So yeah, basically a private matsuri. It's a private event day down at Raleigh, which I have never been to, and I've been super keen to drive. Like I've seen videos of it, but I've never actually gotten to drive it, and every time I've tried to go to this event, something's happened. Like, for instance, the first motor cracked an oil pressure sender, pumped all the oil out the side of the block, and blew up 5 minutes down the road after putting a manifold on. Really happy that I'm actually going to get to go to this one. Just a bunch of good guys, good vibes, and tons of track time. May have got slightly distracted. I'll attach a few little clips just after this of what I got distracted with. Currently the wagon is up on stands. I've got the wheels pulled off. I'm going to check out the rear end of it. I'm going to have one more attempt at getting this hydro to work. I think I have an idea of where the issue might be, but it would be good if I can get it working because I'd like to learn to be able to use one because I've never properly got to use one. That's it. It's up in the air, doing a bolt check because I've had a lot of really random vibrations. I've already had the caster arms come loose. I've had a driver's door come loose. I lost bolts from the bottom of one guard. So yeah, there's definitely some things I missed when I put it back together before last matsuri. I'm gonna get cracking into it. Should be a solid 10-footer. Look good from 10 foot away. Oh yeah, they're longer. Yeah, boy.
You just put a small one.
Yeah.
Beautiful textures.
Oh yeah. Techies for days. Ew. That's good. Fixed my snapped exhaust hanger. It's a nice thick tie wire. Perfect. Hydro handle. Giving that a whole bunch of pumps. Really put pressure on it. I finally found it. The source of the issues. The tiniest fucking weep in this line. So I'll pull that off, clean up the surfaces, and with any luck, it'll fucking seal. Do I look retarded? I always look retarded. What am I saying? Alright, so we just fucked around for ages. I invited Adam out for a quick fucking bleed up, and it turned into replacing basically every copper washer on it. Nearly twice. And a nipple. But that is by far the best this thing has ever felt in terms of the hydro. It's really consistent. It barely moves. Like, near tear it out the bracket trying to pull it back. So I'm feeling pretty confident that we've actually got it. There's no leaks popping up. There's no little droplets. There's no weeping that I can see. The true test will be give it a night and see how it feels tomorrow, whether it's sucked up any air like it was doing, where you'd leave it alone and then you'd give it a pull and then it'd go slack. So hopefully with any luck it's good. A lot of messing around, but I think we finally got it. That'll be it for tonight, and I'll come back out here tomorrow. This is going to be a freaking huge week. Nice and clean. Gave all the pieces a wire wheel and nice. Alright guys, so I went for a drive. Hydro works good, but not perfect. I feel like I've gotten all the airlocks out of it. It doesn't leak anymore. It is holding pressure, but it also got stuck on. Whether that's just the adjustment worked its way out because there's no lock on the adjustment, because I had to fit a Willwood master cylinder to an eBay handbrake. It could have been the adjustment working off, but I decided, because one of the drift events I went to with this setup, I actually had a slide pin seize, and when the calipers were glowing and the brake got stuck on, it was only the left side glowing. So I feel like the right side's not engaging properly. I was right. Here, top slide pin, mint. Now if you look at the bottom one, that shit's proper stuck. Proper stuck. Gonna give it a good squirt with some WD-40, let it sit while I pull the other side off. I'll double check all the slide pins, grease them right up, make sure they cannot seize on me again. Hopefully get this sorted, do a bolt check on the front. Then at least the car's pretty well sorted. It's just chuck a fire extinguisher in it for safety, and then finish packing up, load the trailer, and load the ute, and good. Got to get new tyres on the daily, which I have booked. They're on order, they're coming in, so I don't want to drive to New South Wales with bald tyres on the daily, missing chunks. I always say it at the end, but thanks as always, guys, for the support, the likes you leave, the comments, everything like that. I appreciate all of it, and I love doing what I'm doing, so hope you guys are enjoying the content. As suspected, the left-hand side, both slide pins moved freely. Oh, hang on. Whoo! That's a lot of rust. Look at it. It's vaporizing. I was going to heat this bit up with a blowtorch to get the rest of this out, but it seems that extra bit of WD-40 freed it up. So I'm going to spray out this hole, spray the absolute hell out of it with WD. I'll give this pin a good clean up, give it a good grease, give all that a good grease, give all the pins a good grease, pop the boots back over, and then that should have it sorted, because I don't think it's a bleed issue now. I think it is just this pin was seized, this caliper got a bit stuck, pressurized the whole system, and made that other brake lock on more. Look at the color of the shit that just came out of it. Blech. This was the worst one. Still a little bit pitted, but it's gonna do the job. I got myself some Penrite high temperature wheel bearing grease. Should be enough to handle the temperature of the hydro and the heats that it's gonna get to. It's gonna dip this fucker right in there. Get heaps on it. I'll wipe the excess off. See if I can pull this off. Oop, no, missed the hole. I could fucking smear around. That's the sound of good. Ooh. Alright, in there's still nasty. Slide pin's greased, everything looks alright. Got the calipers back on, car's running in first gear. Now what I've noticed is the dual caliper brackets, when they were done, they've welded the calipers too far in. So they're running on a part of the rotor that the other calipers don't run on. As opposed to cutting and re-welding, what I'm going to do to help them bed in better is I'm going to take a wire wheel while it's in gear on a drill and go to town on that rust scaly part and just give them a kickstart on bedding in on that surface. I'm going to hand the camera over to Adam in case something goes wrong here. Seems it drops off on the back side where this bit is. Okay. So that's not good. I should probably redo these brackets at some point. But not today. Bastard. Oh yeah, that's the stuff. Now I'm going to give it a bit of revs and I'm going to hold the hydro on to try and bed these pads in, give them a good kickstart in a controlled area where if they get hot, it's okay. If they seize up, I can catch it early, as opposed to being out on the road where I don't realise until they're bellowing smoke like last God damn, I'm so tired. Front end is in the air. I've had a bit of a look over it. I can't seem to find anything that's loose. The only issue I can find with the front end is a small bit of play left to right, which is normally a sign of tie rod ends, but it's not actually in the tie rod end itself. It's in the rack end. These rack ends came off the big lock kit I got, so I don't actually know what rack ends they are. So that's something that I'll have to work out at a later date. There's not enough play in it that I'm concerned that it's going to cause me any issues. I'm going to be taking a spare rack to the event. I'm going to be taking spare rack ends. I'm going to be taking all the spares I can think of. I'm going to be taking the rebuilt head that's skimmed for an MLSR gasket. I'm going to take the MLSR head gasket with me, ported intake, all that sort of stuff. So if anything goes wrong, I can, like I blow a head gasket, or the rack dies, or I break a rack end, or anything like that, I can sort it out and get myself by to finish out the event. I'm not going to let anything stop me from finishing it. I want to just drive, hang out with people that I've wanted to drive with properly for a long time, just have a good time and enjoy myself. A lot more play, and had a lot more play in a rack end before and gotten away with it. So I'm gonna fucking send it. It seems like I got a little bit less caster in the right hand wheel, so I'm gonna loosen that bracket off quickly and see if I can pull that forward, crank it up real tight. Hopefully that's enough to sort of even it up. Set the toe, double check, make sure I've got no major leaks or any real issues with sort of the motor side of things and the rack and everything like that. Not really concerned. I think she's pretty freaking solid. Only thing I really got to do is chuck a fire extinguisher in it. Always run a fire extinguisher in my cars, particularly my drift cars, just because it's good preventative security. You don't need an extinguisher until you fucking need it. So have it in your damn car, because if you don't have an extinguisher and you need it, who knows how long it's going to take to get one out to you on track. If you've got one there within arm's reach, you can at least tame the fire that you've got. Might just save you pride and joy. Always, always, always run a fire extinguisher. My first couple of videos on this channel, you'll see I'm cleaning up extinguisher dust. Because thankfully I had one. Turns out I accidentally left it on the temporary fuel pump wiring, shorted out, set fire to a whole bunch of stuff, through the carpet, up under the dash, all the rest of it. If I didn't have an extinguisher, I would have lost the whole damn thing. Frankly, I would rather clean up extinguisher dust any day of the week than watch my car burn to the ground that I've put so much time, money and effort into. Put a fire extinguisher in your car, you got it? Yeah, right there. Put a fire extinguisher in your car, you got it? Squinty eyes, are ya? I'm so fucking tired. Alright, so I worked out my uneven caster issue. Which, you see the sort of gap there? See the sort of gap there? It's a little bit more even than it was. This was wound out about 2-3 threads, which, because this is seized to this heim joint, I couldn't just adjust it here because I have cheap garbage ass caster arms, but they work-ish. They work to do a caster arms job, but they don't work for adjustability. So I unbolted the bracket, spun this 3 times, and then had to get a ratchet strap, hook it up to it, and ratchet strap it to the toe point, which then allowed me to actually get these bolts back in. Alright, so after some tweaking, I have about 1 mil of toe out. Which I found about 1 mil of toe out is about pretty well perfect for this thing. Yes, it probably wears on my tyres a little bit quicker, especially being that it's a street car as well. But I found that's kind of what I have set it at 99% of the time, and I've found that to be best. 1mm toe out is a lot more stable than 1mm toe in. And toe plates, as good as they aren't 100% accurate. So I'm going to call it that. I'm going to lock them off, and that'll be my alignment. Fuck it, it'll do. There's a lot going on in this one. It's a big event prep. I'm madly out of time. Kind of put myself in a big rush. It is what it is. I'm going to keep trekking on forward, get it done, and with any luck, we'll be 110% ready to hopefully get out of here early Friday and get down to Raleigh. Big push. Hence why this is not a time-lapse heavy video. This is an update heavy video. So, hope you guys are enjoying. I'm going to keep cracking on with it. So it's not ideal, but looks like the only place I'm going to be able to mount the fire extinguisher that I can reach without having to lean right forward or anything in case my seatbelt's locked. So it's going to have to be here, but I can reach it from a full sitting position. So I'm just going to mark her out down along the sides, so then I can reposition the bracket and drill the holes, riv nut it into the tunnel, bolt it down. That's going to have to do. Oh no, car's on fire! Yeah, that'll work. I can get that pretty easy. What I've done is I've added about 5% duty cycle to everything north of 8 pound. Got it up to about 12 psi. Car is ripping, seems to be running good, no funny noises. Set the safety parameters for boost control at 14, so if it ever overboost for any reason, it'll cut it at that. That motor should survive 14 pound for a moment before the ECU picks up on it and realizes. So that should be fine. I'm pretty confident the car is good. Also pretty confident that that vibration is a wheel balance issue. So not too worried. I'll probably have to get that set balanced at some point because obviously something's a bit warped and a bit off. That's going to be it for this video because honestly I've so underprepared. I've just got to spend the rest of my time prepping and getting ready. This video seems a bit rushed. I apologize. I'm on a massive time crunch and I don't want to miss out on putting this video up and then be behind and have my algorithm crash again. So I hope you guys enjoyed the video. The time crunch is real. It's currently Thursday. I leave Friday morning to hopefully cruise down with a bunch of the guys so that I'm not driving by myself. I'm going to come home from work. At this point, probably not even get a nap. Just pump a bunch of caffeine and drive down to Raleigh. It's going to be an interesting experience, but I'm super keen for the weekend. Basically, all I've got left to do is pack, load up the car, load up the trailer, load up all the tires, load up all the spares. Okay, it's actually a lot. The more I look at my list, the more it terrifies me. Thank you guys that watched to the end. Thank you all for supporting the channel. As always, I appreciate you guys. Leave a like if you enjoyed the video. Drop a comment, let me know your thoughts. This setup seems really solid. This motor is an absolute freak. It's one of those Rb30s that just works. So, fingers crossed, everything goes great. I get to have a lot of good times driving and just enjoying the event. That's going to be it for me. I'm so tired. Got to finish this edit. Thank you guys, and I'll see you on the next one when we're throwing it around Raleigh and having a grand old time. That sounded really old. Alright guys, thanks. I'll see you on the next one.